Students, a very good morning to all of you and welcome to the class. Students, today we are going to finish the dramatic monologue by Robert Browning entitled A Grammarian's Funeral. In our last class, we read how this great scholar had noble ambitions. His head disciple tells us that this grammarian didn't care for gain or profit in this world. He aimed at higher reward in the life to come. This disciple says that in this world there are two types of people people with small ambitions and people like his teacher having noble higher ambitions in their life, and these ambitions are not easier to attain for. So students, let us come to the textual analysis of today's part. So if you look at the screen, the text is there, and as I have already told you several times that I have already shared the whole text in the word file form on our group. In the WhatsApp group, the whole poem is there in a word file shape. So let us come to the text. That low man goes on adding one to one, his hundreds soon hit. This high man, aiming at a million, misses an unit. That had the word here. Should he need the next, let the word mind him. This throws himself on God, and unperplexed, seeking shall find him. So, the head disciple has high views about his deceased teacher. So he says two types of men are there. Some have low ambitions, they are lowly men. Some are people like that of his deceased teacher who have high ambitions, who harbor high ambition in their heart. The low men whose ambitions are small and whose aims are limited see clearly their goal and achieve it with little efforts. On the other hand, noble people like that of his deceased teacher have lofty high ambitions. Their goals and their aims are so high that they die even before they can form a clear idea of their ideals or objects of desire. So, Browning here says the point through the use of an apt illustration. How does he explain it? That low man goes on adding one to one, his hundred soon hit. This high man aiming at a million misses an unit. That has the word here. Should he need the next, let the word mind him. This through himself on God and unperplexed seeking shall find him. A low man is like a person who wants only 100 rupees. He makes efforts, earns them in small installments, and soon he gets the amount of money that he wants. Such people are successful according to this materialistic world. On the other hand, a noble person like that of Grammarian aims at not materialistic gains like that of rupees, but he aims higher. His aims are high. He is ambitious. But their goals are so high that sometimes their life comes to an end before achieving those goals. So the small people or having small little ambitions in their life, they achieve their goals earlier. But their teacher, he cared for this word alone and Let this word care for him. The man with noble ideals, on the other hand, has full faith in God. He's, he surrenders himself before God. He has full confidence in his power. Such a noble person seeks God and ultimately finds him and is rewarded by him. The dead grammarian was a man of noble ideals and high ambition. So, with the throttling hands of death at strife, ground he at grammar. Still, through the rattle, parts of speech were rife. While he could stammer, he settled Hotte's business, let it be, properly based on gave us the doctrine of the enclitic day, dead from the waist down. So, the disciple says that their teacher, the diseased grammarian, was a brave scholar who continued to work hard in his study till the last moments of his life, till the death arrived. Even when he felt suffocating, hands were arriving him, even when he was waging his last struggle, the struggle with death, the great scholar did not cease his studies. He continued working hard. Even when he was dying and could utter only a halting and a rattling manner, even when his speech almost failed him, he spoke incoherently in a halting way. He continued to discuss the rules of grammar, such as the use of various parts of speech. Even at the very last moment, he could hardly stammer. When he could hardly stammer, he explained the correct use of Greek articles on hote and on day, which he prefixed to give it a slightly different meaning. Even when the lower half of his body was paralyzed, he continued his study and research in the principle of Greek grammar and syntax. His research could throw light on many complex points of syntax and grammar. So we come to next stanza. Well, here is the platform, here is the proper place. Hail to your Prulius, all ye high flies of the feathered race, swallows and curlews. Here, the top peak, the multitude below. Live, for they can. There, this man decided not to live, but no. Bury this man here, bury this man there. So, the funeral procession now reaches at the mountain peak where there is a wide open space or a platform, a sort of platform is there. The head disciple considers it to be a proper place for the burial of the dead grammarian. This mountain peak, here birds like swallows and curlews could be found. Like these birds, the grammarian also soared high into the realms of knowledge, and so it is appropriate that he should be buried at the highest peak, the abode of these birds. The common men live in the plains below, which are places of darkness and ignorance. But this grammarian, instead of living a life of ignorance like them, he decided to soar high in the realms of knowledge, and he attained higher knowledge. Here, the top peak, the multitude below, live, for they can there. This man decided not to live but to know. Bury this man here? Here. Here is his place, where meteors shoot, clouds form, lightnings are loosened, stars come and go. Let joy break with storm. Peace let the dew send. Lofty designs must close in like effects. Loftingly lying, leave him still loftier than the world suspects, living and dying. So, students, we are In the last stanzas of this great dramatic monologue, here the disciple, paying homage to his deceased teacher, says that at this place where shooting stars are seen, where clouds are formed, and where lightning is released from the clouds, where stars rise in the evening and sink in the morning, this is the proper place to bury their departed teacher. The grandeur and the loftiness of this place is in harmony with the loftiness and sublimity of the soul of their master. So, students, the head disciple says that the soul of their teacher will receive comfort and joy from the storms which break here, and peace will descend upon him with the dew. It is a befitting place for the burial of their great teacher who had ambitious plans and lofty ambitions. He should be left buried at this lofty place. Both in his life and in his death, he was more sublime and lofty than can ever be imagined by the crowd of the ignorant people who live in the plains below. So, students, here the textual analysis of this dramatic monologue comes to an end. We will continue with the discussion in our next class. Thank you very much.